Bill Maher tells Charlie Kirk what's really destroying the Democratic Party. I can't wait to hear what he says. He believes is destroying the Democratic Party. I haven't seen any of these clips yet, so we're going to be watching this together. Like I said, I'm very interested to see Bill Maher's take on this. But I already know what's destroying the Democrat Party. In my opinion, it's them on the majority, what the majority of the Americans want on the 80-20 issues. I'm talking about men and women's sports. I'm talking about um, the mutilization of children. I'm talking about the open border stuff. The 80-20 issues where the majority of Americans agree, the Democrats are on the opposite ends on it. That's why the Democrat Party, and they refuse to change their stances. They refuse to listen to the people, and that is what's destroying the party. I mean, it's pretty simple, and they're doubling down on this woke stuff that nobody is for. They just it just makes no sense why you would go against the majority on everything. So, but we're gonna play the clip and get Bill Maher's take. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this important information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from Zero Hedge by way of Vigilant Fox. And they report that on the latest episode of Club Random, Bill Maher sat down with Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk for what many expected to be a clash of political opposites. But what unfolded was something far more surprising. A candid, wide-ranging conversation that revealed just how much common ground these two actually share, especially when it comes to calling out the modern left. It kicked off with a sharp joke from Kirk, who warned Maher that the purple-haired jihadis would be coming for him next. So let's play the first clip here. Here we go.
We have different jihadis that want to kill me. The purple-haired jihadis, the woke guys.
Well, they want to kill me just as bad.
Probably.
Oh, they really do.
No, you've been very outspoken on the woke stuff. Big time.
Oh, yes. I mean, and they, just the way within a religion they hate their own apostates more.
Mm-hmm.
I would say they hate me more because I'm supposed to like get on the short bus to Crazy Town with them, and I won't. And yet I'm still a liberal and still like, you know, I mean, we probably could argue all day about Donald Trump and what he's doing, which I'm not down with. But, you know, it's always the people who are closest who think, oh, gosh, you shouldn't have, you're a traitor somehow.
I was going to ask, is it because they thought you were one of them and that...
I am one of them. They're not one of me. I'm okay. It's the liberals who have...
So they've left you, not you left.
Yeah, well,
I
feel like there's... Liberal and woke are two completely different things. It was a theme of my last stand-up special that I just did a few months ago. And it's basically... I mean, it wasn't the whole special, of course, but it was a large part of it devoted to that, to proving that case that, you know, what liberals believe, woke is something completely different. It's very often the opposite of it. You know, liberalism is, let's live in a colorblind society. That's the goal.
Yeah.
Woke's goal is, we see race everywhere.
Race obsession.
Yes. Okay. So that's not liberal. You change. Liberal is, they're a two-state solution. Woke is river to the sea, okay? So just don't take my word and say you're that. You took this and took it to, you got off the F train, you fell asleep, and you got off the 20 stops too far, and don't blame me for that.
I love it. I love it. I agree with everything you said. The conversation pivoted to an issue even some liberals are struggling to defend: women's sports. Kirk praised Maher for speaking out. Again, for common sense. This is common sense stuff. An 80-20 issue that I was alluding to earlier. Most people agree that men have no business being in women's sports, except for these crazy, loony, leftists, the progressives that took over the Democratic Party. Let's play this clip. Here we go.
Good on you for being a liberal that acknowledges male-female distinctions. What a concept, right?
Oh, of course.
I mean,
Of all the low-lying fruit that the Democrats just like hand the Republicans to win elections, that's the one.
You know, it's so funny. I joked around with my team the other day. I said, are they really going to just let us win every national election on this no men and female sports thing?
Right.
Like, they can't surrender on this one issue.
It's so
It's a
ridiculous.
90-10 issue.
Yeah.
There's 890 medals and trophies of men winning these competitions.
You lost Gavin Newsom on this. Okay? Take that as a hint, right? I mean, I think you were
I was the one that asked the question.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. When you lose leftist loony Gavin Newsom, then you know you're doing something wrong, right? Then came the part no one saw coming. Maher opened up about a recent dinner he had with President Trump and pushed back on the idea that engaging with him was somehow off limits. Here we go.
I voted for Obama, I voted for Clinton, but the idea that I could talk to them as freely as I felt this conversation was going is emblematic to me of why the Democrats lose the elections. Because they just don't feel that this is like a real person. And I know it's so weird to say that about Donald Trump, who I've said a jillion times is, you know, a whiny little bitch. I mean, I could go through my greatest hits of like insults, but this was about getting past that and maybe seeing that if we met in person, we don't hate each other as much, and we don't. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna like pretend that's a bad thing.
No, it's how you heal.
Yeah. I mean, these people don't even want to sit down and have a conversation with you if you have a different opinion than them. That is nuts to me. I don't know, like, who taught these people this, that you can't sit down and have a conversation with someone you disagree with? It's ridiculous. That's when Kirk delivered a line that stopped the conversation cold. He said, you have more moral courage than pastors I know who went along with the woke crazy train, he said. And he's right. There's still some pastors that's actually pushing this woke ideology. It's crazy to me. Let's play this clip. Here we go. It's the last one.
We're on different planets, obviously, on the spiritual religious stuff. But when you spoke against the woke, that for me was a proving moment. And I have to say something, and this is 100% true. You had more moral courage than pastors that I know that went along with the woke crazy train. And you deserve credit for that because it was of high cost.
Until we get rid of that shit, they're never going to win another election.
I agree. They're not going to take political advice from me.
No, but they might from me.
They could.
And
they should. But
not the 10%, but that's 10%.
But they're very loud.
They're very loud, but that's it. And I, you know, as FDR once said, I welcome their hatred because they're just, first of all, they have no integrity. They don't like ever like present the full argument. They just cherry pick. I mean, everybody does it to everybody. So I'm not saying I'm unique here, but that is part of the problem of our discourse is that everybody just wants to forward their narrative. No one is really interested in the full truth. Just the truth. Just give me the truth. And that's the crowd I'm going for.
Wow. I love it. Great conversation. We need to have more conversations like this. I love that Charlie Kirk sat down with Bill Maher. I love that Charlie Kirk sat down with Gavin Newsom. And y'all know I'm definitely not no fan of. I love that Bill Maher and Donald Trump sat down and broke bread together and had a conversation. We need more of this. That way and we need to point to these crazies out here and tell them like, hey, y'all are the minority. Y'all are the ones going around saying this crazy stuff. On most of these issues, 90% of the time, most of us agree. We're not going to allow you 10%ers out there to be yelling and telling us we're wrong and y'all are like morally right when we know that's not true. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.